What up, peeps? It's Great White making it happen again today with some more Portal Knights. Hope you guys are having the best kind of day. I'm having a great day myself. And today, we're going to talk some more about delays. You know, we've actually had a couple videos about delays already. Maybe just one video before. We're going to talk about them a little bit further because delays are magical things. I love them. I think they're the best thing ever. And there's some really cool stuff that I want you guys to be aware of that you can do with the logic blocks. I think I've mentioned this before in a couple videos, but Nikki Ma and I, one of my very good friends, Nikki Ma, she's like the greatest person ever. We've been working a lot on this board game that we're making in Portal Knights that you guys will probably be seeing relatively soon. It's almost done. It's kind of very similar to Mario Party, if you guys are familiar with that game, where you have to go collect the stars. We made something kind of like that based on a grid in a small world. It's like 60 different squares and there's a bunch of stuff. And I've learned a lot. Like, when I made the arena, I didn't know half as much about logic blocks as I do now. And a lot of that is thanks to, well, kind of experimenting. A lot of it is thanks to a lot of the supporters in the community. So there's guy Beansman. He's been doing some stuff. Jeremy Atkins, Cherry Bomb in the comment section. All you guys are so incredibly helpful. You're so cool and you're so nice and you're so helpful with like learning the different things with logic blocks. I believe this is something I either took from Jeremy Atkins or I took from Cherry Bomb. I can't remember who it was exactly, but you guys need to know about this because it's a game changer when it comes to logic blocks. So say you want something to, say you have like a long pulse, right? So you have something like, let's grab a delay. So here's a delay. This is this purple thing. And we pop this down here. And let's throw a torch on top of it. Let's go ahead and grab the signal, put it into there. And let's put it to 5 seconds. So it's a 5-second delay. And when nothing's going into it, it's going to pulse on that interval, that 5-second interval. So it's going to go on, it's going to go off. Now, let's say, for example, we did something like this. I should have left that in my inventory. I don't know why I got rid of it. Okay, so let's say we do grab, I like to use the paper lanterns because they're, I don't know, they're fun to look at. So let's place a bunch of paper lanterns down here. And then let's put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this feed into this. And that feeds into this. And we're just going to create a little chain right here, right? And that'll be the last one. So there's nothing that stops over here. And then I'm gonna have each of these go into the lantern below them, right? So we're gonna grab this, hook that down there, grab this, goes to this one, this goes to this one, all the way down the line. Okay, great. So I think they're all hooked up now. Let's double check. Sure enough. So you guys can kind of see what's going on here though. So every 5 seconds this turns on. That sends a signal to this, and then it kind of, that stays on for 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, and there's 1 second in between. So we kind of get this chain, right? Now we can make it a little bit shorter. We get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll be lit at the same time, right? Because each of these are 1 second, and this is staying lit for 5 seconds. Now we can change that so that, say we want to go 2 seconds, right? So now when this turns on, we'll get a maximum of 2 that are lit at the same time. And we can obviously go as low as 1 second, right? Now we have 1 that's lit. And it's every other, right? Because this is now pulsing faster than it was before. So this is pretty cool, but it kind of restricts us, right? We can't do everything that we want to, that we maybe want to, right? So if we put this to 0.5 seconds, now what? Now we get this weird like galloping thing. It's a little bit strange, right? Now what if we go as low as like 0.1 seconds? What's going to happen now? It's crazy. Oh, wait, I don't even know what's happening. How do you even describe this? It's the weirdest thing. So there's something that we could do that would be better than this, I think. So something that you can do is you can actually take a long signal. Say if this is at 5 seconds, what if I want every 5 seconds, I want 1 light to go down the line? How would you do that? Well, it is very possible, in fact, and it's actually quite simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a NOT gate. We're going to grab a NOR gate and a NOT gate. And then we'll need another delay. These three things together are able to do just the most magical thing in the world. So let's go ahead and throw down our NOR gate right here. And then let's grab a NOT gate. We'll throw that right here. And then we'll put our other delay feeding into that. So this NOT gate is going to take the signal from whatever we want the pulse to come from. So when this is not on, the NOT gate is on. So if we actually put a torch here, when this delay is hooked up to a NOT gate, when the delay is off, the NOT gate's on. When the delay is on, the NOT gate is off, right? That's pretty simple. If you wanted to have something that goes every other, we could actually change this to like be every 0.5 seconds. And then it'll do just that. It'll be every 0.5 seconds. Pop, 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 back and forth, or whatever interval you want. Let's stick with that 5 seconds though. So let's say every 5 seconds, I want to have one light go down this line, right? What I could do is I can create this little circuit that we have here, and this takes a long pulse and it turns it into one short pulse. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the NOT gate is going to go into the NOR gate, and then the delay that we're coming from, the one that's pulsing however frequently we want it to actually send a signal, we're going to have that go into the, oh no, am I correct? I believe it goes into this delay. Let me check really quick. Let's go ahead and grab this and hook it up to the light so we can see. I think I've got this wrong. I didn't hook this up. This delay goes into the NOR gate as well. So the NOT gate goes directly into the NOR gate. The delay, the original delay, goes into this delay right here that's going into the NOR gate. So this NOR gate is taking a signal from the NOT gate we already hooked up, and it's taking a signal from the new delay. And we can see what happens here is every 5 seconds when this turns on, we can see when that turns on. There it is. This turns on for 1 second, then turns off. And that's actually based off of the length of this. So now we should be able to see this working correctly. If we take the signal from this NOR gate, this NOR gate is now our new source of our pulse. So we're going to actually put this into this delay now instead. So we should be able to see this working now. Let's let it cycle through one more time. This one, it should work right now. Just like that. So every 5 seconds, or I guess it is every 10 seconds, because these delays work based on on-off. So that's 5 seconds on, 5 seconds off. So every 10 seconds, we get a new pulse. So if we wanted to shorten that, say we wanted that, this will stay as a 1 second pulse, but we can make it more frequent. We can make it every 4 seconds. There's a pulse. There's a pulse. Just like that. If we wanted this to be a longer pulse or a shorter pulse, we could do that. We could make this 0.5 seconds. We can make it 0.1 seconds. You can make it whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. But you can change the length of the pulse that's happening, and you can change the frequency of the pulse by adjusting these two delays. That's all it takes. It's really a very simple little circuit, and it's so powerful depending on what you want to do. So say you have like a dungeon and you have some monsters that you want to spawn. So you could very easily set up a timer. And if you guys don't know this, I have a tutorial that talks about monsters and how they work, or enemies, or whatever you want to call them. Say we grab ourselves a greenhorn grunt right here, and we pop this guy right here. These guys, when they get powered by something, in input number 1, they'll simply die, and then they'll send a signal. Or if you want an enemy that doesn't send a signal necessarily, but continues to respawn, kind of like those monster spawners in the Rifts, for example. If you guys played through the new Rogues Rifts, Elves Rogues Rifts DLC, those monster spawners you come across, if you want something like that where they keep respawning, if you use input number 2, as long as the thing that's causing them to show up, as long as that's always true, then they will continue to respawn over and over and over again. So as long as, in this case, as long as this timer is on, it will continue to respawn. Now you could, if you wanted to, have like a you could have something like a lever. It could be as simple as using a lever to turn these on. But if you have a very complex dungeon and you have a lot of things that are doing a bunch of different things, you have like different things controlled by different doors and things like that, or you have like a mini game that started when a certain timer is turned on, you can actually set this up so that at the beginning of your world loading, you can turn a timer on simply by having a delay that let's grab a delay, by simply having a delay that feeds into that timer to turn it on. And we already know that delays are going to pulse all the time. So as long as this doesn't have something feeding into it, it's going to turn on the timer. Now, there's something even cooler than that we can do. If you want to kind of save resources, this actually comes down to my personal theories a little bit, guys. So I'm going to get into some, I don't know, you can call it semantics. It's really whether you want to take this as fact or not. I don't know if this is true, but I believe when you have a lot of things running at the same time, it can bog down the system. It can make the game run kind of slow. We've run into these issues when we were making the board game that Nikki Ma and I are working on. And to some extent, this would happen with the arena as well. When you have a lot of things running, like these clocks, for example, or I have some dice rollers over there that are constantly spinning, that can cause issues with the game, and you only want those things to run when they need to. So what we can actually do is we can get rid of this. Let's grab, again, a timer. And this is really cool, guys. What we can do is we can have this, and we're going to create exactly what we created over here. We're going to take a NOT gate. We're going to plug this NOT gate into here. This timer is going to lead into this NOT gate. And then let's go ahead and put a torch on top of this so that we can see it work. This NOT gate is going to lead into a NOR gate. We'll throw this NOR gate here, and then we'll have a delay. Delay is going to go into that, right? And this delay will feed into the, into the NOR gate. And this is actually going to be the opposite. What we want to happen right now is I want to say when this timer is not on, I want this to send a pulse, right? So what we'll actually do is we'll have the NOT gate is going to serve as the delay did over here, right? So we're going to treat the NOT gate like the delay. It's going to be the opposite. So we're going to take this delay feeds into the other delay. So in this case, instead of the delay or timer we're going to say this NOT gate feeds into the delay, right? And now this will go in as part of it. And then this will go in as the other part. And so now this should be true, right? No, because we're looking at neither of them. When neither of them are true, it's going to send a signal. But neither of them will be true for a split second at the very beginning of the game. So this might blow up in my face, but I believe this will work. If I have this turn on the timer and we reload the game, it should turn on this timer. So when we show up, this timer should be on. Let's give it a try and see what happens. I'm going to have it spawn these guys right now and see how that goes. And just to show you that this is actually something that would work versus like a regular one, let me go ahead and throw down a regular timer here. I'm going to hook it up to this torch, and I'm actually just going to turn this one on. We're just going to turn this one on, and we're going to use this as kind of like a control, like variable sort of situation. So this will be our control. So I know this doesn't work, but I want to show you guys. So I turn that on, and it stays on until it gets reset. But the game doesn't save it as being on. So if I leave and come back, this will not be on anymore. Hopefully, I believe this one should be. If I set this up correctly, it should work. I think it will. I think it will. We're going to find out together, though. Let's go ahead and give it a try really quick. So let's go ahead and test play the island. Look at that, guys. It totally worked. It totally worked. So now we have these guys hanging out here. If I kill them, it's in input number 2, right? I think I put it in input number 2. I did, yeah. So they're going to keep respawning, and it doesn't matter how many times I kill them. It won't make any difference. They'll continue to respawn. And you guys can see this is the control, right? So we know that one doesn't work. So just because I left it in the on position does not mean it's going to be on when we reload the map. However, this one is. And you know what? I just had this thought. So again, I'm not perfect. I still make mistakes. I just had this thought. There might be an even simpler way to handle this situation right here. I wonder, what if we simplify this even further? Let's get away from these guys and switch to creative mode really quick. Here's my theory, is that instead of going through all of these extra steps that we're going through, I am going to actually remove everything else that we've done and simplify it down to just the timer and the NOT gate. So let's get rid of these, and let's have this. So the timer feeds into this, and then I want this to turn on the timer. I think this is going to work, guys. I think this is going to be even simpler than what we were doing before. So if you want a constant signal that's always on as soon as the game starts, it should be as simple as this. Let's test play the island and see if that works. I really think it will. This is going to be even better news. I started this video under the assumption I was making a tutorial for you guys to show you something awesome that you can do, and I ended up discovering an easier way to accomplish what I want. And sure enough, it does work. Awesome. So if you have a map where you want something to be active right away, like some monsters that are going to keep respawning or anything like that, or the game starting hinges on this being a certain timer being active at the very beginning, you can actually have that start not by a player input, but just by hooking up a NOT gate to the timer to turn it on. Wow. Sorry, we did a little bit of running around in circles here. I didn't realize that it was going to be that simple until we just tried it right now. That's super cool. Wow, that's got me really excited about making stuff in this game. Ooh, that's cool. And now that'll stay on for forever. There's no reason that should turn off unless you were to turn it off yourself. And even if it got turned off, you would be able to just turn it back. It would turn itself back on with the NOT gate. Wow, that's really cool, guys. Wow, I'm very excited about this now. Sorry about the weirdness of this video, but yeah, a lot of cool things you can do with delays, getting a single pulse out of a constant pulse. So if you want every 5 seconds to have a 1 second pulse, every 5 seconds to have a 3 second, half a second pulse, you can do it just with this. So a pretty cool thing. I think it's pretty cool, at least. And I hope you guys too. Wait, that was a weird sentence. I hope you guys do too. But that's it for today, guys. I hope this was helpful for you in some capacity. I love making these videos. I love playing with the logic blocks. I love discovering new things like that. That's a handy little thing to know. That's so useful, guys. Oh, I hope somebody out there is excited about this as I am. But guys, make sure you leave a like on the video if you did enjoy this. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you guys have any other ideas for things you'd like to see built. If you have other ideas for things you'd like to see explained in more detail, like tutorials, I'd be happy to do those for you, because this I enjoy more than any other game I've played, is playing with these logic blocks. No Man's Sky we've been playing a lot of lately, and really my motivation for that is that they have logic blocks now, and I want to go screw around with them in there and see what they have made and what we can do with those too. But you guys, you've been a pleasure as always, and I hope you do have just the best kind of day. See you later, dudes.